Okay, the plan has been revealed as information comes out about Keyshawn Davis and Keyshawn Davis's next fight. And we're going to talk about what that means for Gervonta Davis, Shakur Stevenson, and the rest of the lightweight as the new top-ranked tournament begins. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division where some clarity is starting to take place as an announcement has been made about, or information has come out of the WBO convention about their plans for the 135-pound WBO championship. And that includes Keyshawn Davis and not Gervonta Davis. I'm really shocked. But before I get into the details, let me welcome you back to the channel. Also, if you're a supporter of this fan page, please hit the super chat or the super thanks in the video below, because look, man, I am not a journalist. So that's how we are able to continue to have this community of boxing fans continue to talk with one another. Now, I have to say before I start, again, I am not a journalist. So you should, without a doubt, go check Dan Rayfield out, go check Mike Coppinger out, or go check out guys like Paul Magno, and make sure when they report this information that everything that you hear is accurate and that you get your own understanding. Because what I am going to do as a boxing fan is give you my opinion of what transpired. So when the news came out that Keyshawn Davis would be, his next fight would put him in position to be the mandatory for the WBO lightweight championship, which is held by Brenachik. When I heard that, it answered a lot of questions for me. Many people asked, why didn't Gervonta Davis fight a unification fight? Now, if you're not familiar, because, you know, some boxing fans don't know everything about boxing. So when we're talking about a unification fight, we're talking about two fights between champions, title holders in the same division. In this division, Gervonta Davis is the WBA world champion. The IBF champion is Vasily Lomachenko, who Gervonta Davis tried to fight, but he was unavailable. Then you have the WBC champion, who is Shakur Stevenson, who Gervonta Davis wanted to fight, but Shakur Stevenson was unavailable. Now, I don't call Shakur Stevenson a duck because, hey, I had a personal conversation with Shakur Stevenson on air, and he told me what he thought was going on, and I'll take the man for his word. So I know he's unavailable, and that's why I say unavailable instead of a duck, because he just said, I'm going to go make this money real quick. He went to go get the money, so he's unavailable to fight Gervonta. So that's the second of two unification fights that can't take place. Now, many people said, well, what about Brenachik? And I always said, well, we don't know what Brenachik is doing. I haven't heard anything about Brenachik. But my logic was, and he's not going to fight Brenachik because why would Bob Arum? Because let me not ask a question. Let me make a statement. I get a little irritated when people ask like they're answering questions with a question. Anyway, Brenachik, Bob Arum would not put Brenachik in a fight with Gervonta Davis because, number one, Brenachik would have to go over to Amazon to fight Gervonta Davis. And there's no money in the fight really for Bob Arum. So what is Bob Arum going to do? Bob Arum, being a reasonable person, is going to say, well, that's not going to make any money for me and it'll cost me a belt. Hey, what if I just have somebody within my own stable fight Brennichik? That way, if Brennichik loses, I still keep the belt. If Brennichik wins, I still get the belt. So what does he do? He petitions. Not Brennichik. Bob Arum petitions the WBO, often known as whatever Bob orders, to make Keyshawn Davis the mandatory. So now you know that if Keyshawn beats the next guy he's fighting, and I don't recall who he's fighting, if he beats Gustavo Lemos, then the next fight can be straight to Brennichik. And what will Brennichik do in between? He very well may not fight at all. Bob Arum may just keep him on the shelf and let a young, strong Keyshawn Davis go right at him, and because he believes that Keyshawn Davis is the star down the road. So that's why I thought that Bob Arum would not have him fight Brennichik. So Gervonta fight Brennichik. So what does that bring? What does that bring us around to? It brings us around to none of the three major sanctioned bodies that besides Gervonta Davis's WBA, none of them are available. And since they're not available, you can't claim that the guy needs to fight him. Now, once Keyshawn Davis fights Brennichik and Keyshawn Davis beats Brennichik, because I'm telling you he will beat Brennichik, now you're going to have who as champions in the lightweight division. Wow, shocker. You're still going to have 3 of the 4 belts be with Bob Arum. Now, let me also tell you, if there was not Gervonta Davis there, Bob Arum would be able to have all 4 of those belts without dealing with that belt Gervonta Davis has. Because all Bob Arum would do is say, hey, I want to put the WBA Super on the line. And you petition the WBA, and the WBA allows you to have the WBA Super. So even though there's a WBA World Champion there, then you get to fight for that. Okay, and that means Gervonta Davis is back to a secondary champion. You can have an undisputed top-ranked fighter again, just like the last couple of them were in that division, even though you guys don't want to give Teofimo Lopez his credit. But whatever. See, that's what I'm talking about. This reason that Gervonta Davis has not fought these guys at 135 is because of the tournament you see Bob Arum is setting up again, right around him. He moved his other players up to 140 pounds. He has young fighters at 135, and he's going to have those young 35 guys fighting for championships. You better also believe that Bob Arum is going to probably get Emmanuel Navarrete a championship shot. Because isn't he the one that lost to Brennichik? I think he did try to get cute with Navarrete and have Navarrete beat and Brennichik won the fight. Okay? Other than that, that would have been Navarrete. And so guess what you would have got with Navarrete? With Navarrete, you would have got Loma Navarrete. You'd get Keyshawn Navarrete. You would have got Shakur if Shakur hadn't left in Navarrete. Right? This is the game that's being played. Let's not act like it isn't. Okay, just for the sake of being salacious, and I don't know, maybe you got an uncle or something that works for the New Jersey State Athletic Commission, you know what I mean, that runs major boxing organizations. So, who knows, man? You may be in it to win it. That's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.